Okay, so growing together, our learning activities. So for the first part, right, we have some days I still miss Cuba. I miss warm breezes. I miss mango trees. I live in Georgia now. The days are cold. We only have one tree. It is a magnolia. It only grows flowers. So, for number one, it said to replace the highlighted words in the paragraph with your information. So that means that instead of talking about Cuba, you are going to talk about some other place, right? So some days I still miss Tampa. Tampa is in Florida. I used to live there before I came back to Massachusetts, right? I miss beaches. I miss palm trees. I live in Fall River, Massachusetts now. The days are chilly. We have pine trees. Well, we have many different trees. They look different. They have different leaves. So do we see what I did there? So I took the paragraph, the first paragraph, and I changed to make it my story, right? Some days I still miss Cuba. Some days I still miss Tampa, Florida. I miss warm breezes. I miss beaches, right? So I made it my own story. Are we following so far? Okay. So for number two, we're going to do the same thing. It is hard to leave a home. It is even harder to make a new home. Everything is new. Everything is strange. Everything is different. Right? So, it is hard to leave Florida. It is even harder to live in Massachusetts. Then we would put everything is new, everything is strange, everything is different. So if you put, for example, I miss Honduras, right? You would say it is hard to leave Honduras. It is even harder to live in Massachusetts. That's what you could say. All right? So let's move on. Before I move on, actually, are we good with this? Do we understand 1 and 2? Comprende? Okay. So superlative ER. So give examples of events or things that are hard for you. What does hard mean? Difficult, exactly. So, for example, it is hard to speak English. It is even harder to write English, which is very true. Okay? For me, I would say it is hard to speak Spanish. It is even harder to write Spanish. That's how it is for me, right? Okay. So just like you, it's things that are difficult for you. Okay? It is it is hard to drive a motorcycle. It is even harder to drive a plane. Right? It is hard to run a marathon. It is harder to lift weights. I don't know, right? So these are things that I'm just coming up with as an example for you guys to show the difference, right? So remember, ER shows a difference in comparison. So the example I gave you before, let's say that I am a loud person, but Ferdinand is louder than I am. So that means he is more loud. But Philippe is loudest, which means he's louder than Ferdinand and myself combined. So the superlative ER just shows more a different level to something else. So if something is hard, it would be harder. If something is small, it would be smaller. If something is loud, it would be louder, etc. The rest of this, that was something you were going to do with your partner. Okay, so for your remote assignment, okay, why is Poppy asking Carmita if she knows how to graph trees? I think Poppy is telling her to put blank and blank together. Who can answer this for me? Sarah, can you answer this? So I think Poppy is telling her to put blank and blank together. What's that? Yes, mango and... Exactly. To put mango trees and magnolia trees together. Does Carmita know how to graft a tree? The text says blah, blah, blah. I do not know what blah, blah, blah means. So that was up to you, right? Does Carmita know how to graft a tree? The text says, I hate it here. I say, he says, do you know what it means to graft a tree? I nod. So the text says, I nod. I do not know what nod means. So nod is to show understanding. Does Carmita know how to graft a tree? Based on the picture and in the word nod, I know that Carmita does or doesn't know how to graft a tree. Does she know how to graft a tree or does she not? She doesn't? So Carmita does know how to graft a tree because she nods. Sorry, I had to think about the story real quick. My father says I am the mango tree. Georgia is the magnolia tree. I must wait. The mango and magnolia will grow together. So what does Carmita's father tell her about the magnolia tree and the mango tree? So her father, because Carmita is what? Is Carmita a boy or a girl? Girl. So her father tells Carmita that she is what? What is she? Exactly. Good job. Is a mango tree, and Georgia is what? Exactly. Good job, guys. Is a magnolia tree. So who is a narrator of this story? And how do you know? So who's the narrator of this story? Sarah, who's the narrator? Carmita. Exactly. The narrator is of the story is Carmita, because the story is from her point of view. Perfecto. Does the narrator like her home in Georgia? Why or why not? So does Carmita, the narrator, like her home in Georgia? Why or why not? Anybody answer that for me? What's that? So at first she doesn't, right? Does not like Georgia at first because she says, I am not like them. They are not like me. Everything is new. Everything is different. What does this sentence mean? I am not like them. Who is them? Is it my mother? Her mother? Poppy? Or the people in Georgia? I am not like them. Who is them? Perfecto. Exactly, Sarah. The people in Georgia. So what you would do is you could do one of two things. You could go to the text color, you could change it. I'll know that that's what you mean. Or you could just go to a highlighter color. Oh, God, that's atrocious. Let's not do that one. Yeah, whatever. That's fine. Oh, God, no, that's even worse. Oh, God, what did I do? People in Georgia. Fine, we'll do this. No, that defeats... Whatever. It's fine. All right, as long as I know. You either highlighted it or you changed the color. Okay. I smile. I will wait. I am a tree. I grow both mangoes and magnolias. I am an American. Now, is Carmita really a tree? No. Does she really grow flowers and mangoes? No. If she did, she would have a lot of problems, right? But that is a metaphor, okay? So, does Carmita finally accept a new culture? Yes. And then that, of course, you would go from the text. I believe it's page 40. And then you would give me an example, okay, of how that is. So write Carmita's timeline. So that's the next thing that we do. So what is the very first thing that she does? What is the first thing that Carmita does? Say that again. Exactly. Okay. So some days Carmita misses Cuba. She has already moved to Georgia. Okay. Then what happens? So we know at the end, Carmita is happy. She knows she is both a mango and magnolia tree. She is an American. Then Carmita is sad. Next, Carmita talks to Poppy. In addition, she feels better. Then at the end, she is happy because she is both a mango and a magnolia tree. So draw pictures retelling the story. You guys did this already, right? And then, of course, that is the summary. All right, so the summary is a chronological order of things that happened. So first, blah, blah, blah. Then, blah, blah, blah. Next, blah, blah, blah. After that, blah, blah, blah. Later on, blah, blah, blah. In addition, blah, blah, blah. And finally, blah, blah, blah. Right? So you guys had to do the summary. Okay? So I'm not going to write all of that out because it's something you guys should have already done. But what I am going to do, I'm going to take a look at your work and go from there. And that's that for right now.